we've had a tragic bus accident in northern Saskatchewan. As of last count, 16 people are dead and another 13 injured. It's becoming more and more clear as the investigators look at the evidence that the accident was caused by the truck driver as he either ran a stop sign or was proceeding too slowly through the intersection while the bus was coming into the intersection. The bus was simply traveling too quickly for the truck to clear the intersection. We're not sure what caused the bus at this point to be in the intersection, but the bus definitely had the right of way. The truck did not. So it looks like almost certainly now it will be the fault of the truck driver. Now the accident happened at 5 o'clock in the evening and the truck was headed west. So the sun may have been in the truck driver's eyes and he was a little bit blinded. The stop sign itself and the flashing red light are mounted very close to the ground for four-wheeler height, basically, not for truck height. So the hood may have interfered in viewing the stop sign as he came into the intersection. There are no rumble strips coming up to the stop sign. There's a stand of trees off to the left, which would have interfered with the vision of both the truck driver and the bus driver. Had those trees not been there, either party should have been able to see the other coming and prepare to take evasive action. It's clearly a bad intersection. I think it's also safe to assume that this truck driver, being out in the middle of nowhere Saskatchewan, rural Saskatchewan, was not familiar with that road. He was from Alberta himself and probably never had traveled that road before. Apparently he was a fairly new employee of the trucking company. He'd only been there a month, and chances are he hadn't been out on that road before. Of one thing you can be certain, though, that this was an accident. The truck driver hasn't deliberately done this, of course. It's simply a tragic accident. Was it a preventable accident? Yes, it certainly was. So they will investigate the truck driver's experience level, how long he'd had his driver's license. They'll check the ECM on the truck to see whether the truck had slowed or stopped for the intersection. They'll check the brakes on the truck and trailers. They'll go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and they will determine the final results. This is why I harp on safety with you guys. This guy has made one simple mistake, and it's had catastrophic results. It's happened in the split second of an instant, and all sorts of accidents happen that way, and that's all it's taken to cause this huge tragedy. Has this driver been guilty of distracted driving? Has he been on his cell phone or texting or watching a movie on YouTube on his phone? That too will be determined. You know they'll check his phone. The highways are a dangerous place, always. And trucking is a serious business. And that's why every morning when you get up, you've got to focus on safety. So here's a guy who let his attention lapse and he's killed all sorts of people. You've got to have your wits about you. You can't be distracted driving. You've got to be paying attention, all your attention, all the time when you're driving one of these things. They're big, they're heavy, and they can do massive amounts of damage. And this guy's future, the rest of his life basically, is in the garbage. He'll never get a trucking job. He may end up in jail. Almost certainly he'll end up bankrupt over this deal. It only was his inattention for a split second. Nothing will ever be the same for the families of these victims. And this is a tragedy that Canada will remember for years and years to come. You guys that follow me on this channel will remember that not too long ago we did a video on driver liability and what a serious thing that was. Here's a perfect example of how terribly bad things can go in the split second of an instant. And that's why I tell you guys, be safe, drive safely, keep the rubber side down, because I want to see you on the backhaul.